Hey guys, welcome to this new session of Portfolio Management for CF Level 2. Today we'll be covering the very last reading that is left in all of these video sessions that we've done so far. The last reading, which is Analysis of Active Portfolio Management. Now, this reading has two major topics. One is relatively easy to cover because we covered something similar to it when we were discussing multi-factor models, which is the analysis of the active management style. So that calculation and that concept is fairly similar to the factor return and the security selection return that we covered with multi-factor models. So we'll look at that first. At the later part of this video, we'll be covering the other part, the other major content that we have in this reading, which is the fundamental law. Now, the fundamental law is something that a lot of students tend to get confused in. So my intention would be to try to make the theoretical part as clear logically as I can. And we'll be doing some basic calculations here. Let's start with the first concept. The first concept that we have is talking about the active management style. So, investment management can be done either in an active manner or as a passive manner. So this entire chapter is focused on active portfolio management. Now, in active portfolio management, the calculation part and the concept also that we are covering in this topic, it is pretty much identical to the factor return plus security selection return that we covered in the multi-factor model topic. The exact topic was return attribution. So return attribution is almost same as this one. The only difference is over there we were focused on the APT equation and the factors. Here we will be focused on individual securities. So before I explain what this concept is or what the logic is, I think let's start with the example this time, because example would really clarify everything to you guys. So here I have an example up on the board. These are different security classes. So in your portfolio, think of this as your portfolio. You have decided to invest in three different sectors of the economy. You can think of them as sectors or security classes. On your portfolio, the weightage of these is 40%, 50%, and 10%, whereas on the benchmark against which you will be comparing your performance, the weightage is 30, 30, and 40. Now, this is just the security class. It is possible that maybe you had better security selection within the class. So let's say I want exposure to chemicals. Maybe I am able to pick better chemical stocks than the ones which are there in the benchmark. So return on portfolio of this A security class is 10%, 8% for B, 7% for C. And these are the returns of different asset classes for my benchmark. Now, if you remember the basic portfolio return formula, portfolio return was just a weighted average, weight into return, weight into return, weight into return, just add them all. Now, using that, calculate active return. Active return would be return on portfolio and return on benchmark. So return on portfolio minus return on benchmark. So just pause the video right here, give it a try. See if you can calculate this. So I'm assuming you have solved it. If you had any doubts or if you've done it, you can cross-check your answer with the following steps that I'll be taking. So firstly, we need RP. RP is going to be weight of portfolio and return of portfolio. So I'll use both weight and returns from the portfolio section. So it would be 0.4 into 0.1 plus 0.5, 0.08 plus 0.1, 0.07. Similarly, return on benchmark would be weight of benchmark and return of benchmark. This would be 0.3, 0.07 plus 0.3, 0.02 plus 0.4, 0.09. Now, if you solve both of these, you will get these values 0.087 and 0.063. If you calculate the difference of both of these, return on portfolio and return on benchmark, is 0.024 or 2.4%. This is my active return. This calculation is fairly straightforward. Nothing new came up. The only sort of new element that you can have here is the question can ask you, out of this 2.4%, how much is due to asset allocation and how much is due to security selection. So there are two parts. Asset allocation is the change in weightage of security classes. So how much weight did I give to one particular security class in comparison to benchmark? That is attributing to the asset allocation part of my active return. And how much return I had more than the benchmark within a sector. That is my security selection return. So it is entirely identical to the factor return and security selection return we did in return attribution. The only difference is over there it was factor return. Here that factor return is rebranded as asset allocation return. Aside from that, everything is same. So we have asset allocation. This is calculated as sum of change in weights, so change in weights of portfolio minus benchmark, multiplied with return of benchmark. If you remember carefully, we had a similar formula for the factor return also. It was difference in beta multiplied with risk premium. That's pretty much what we're doing here. Difference in weights multiplied by return. And security selection is given as difference in return of portfolio and benchmark of individual security classes multiplied with actual weightage in portfolio. Now, if you solve these individually, give it a try, see if you can get these values. If you solve these individually, you will get the sum of these two things same as 2.4%. So basically what this concept is saying is this 2.4% can be broken down into two components. One is asset allocation, the other is security selection. So give it a try, see if you can solve for this value as well. So if you solve for these values, this is sort of what you'll get. I'll just quickly recap where all of these values have come from. So this 0.1 is the difference of weight of portfolio and benchmark for security A. This 0.7 is the return. Then for the next term, the difference between these two. So I'm taking difference of weights and multiplying it with return of benchmark. That's what I've done for the third one also. The difference in weights is negative 30%. So I have minus 0.3. And in the second case, what I've done is I'm taking weights of portfolio and the difference of returns. So weight of portfolio 0.4, the difference on returns is 3%, which is 0.03. For second one, it is 6%, 0.06, then minus 0.02. Now, what this has done is, this has shown me that out of the 2.4% active return that I have earned this much return more than the benchmark. My security selection is very good. 4% of additional return was earned mainly due to my security selection, but there is room for improvement in asset allocation, which means this analysis is not just concerned about breaking down where the return is coming from. It is also trying to pick out the areas where improvements can be made. So this negative 1.6%, this is saying I lost 1.6% due to my bad asset allocation. So if in the future I can improve my asset allocation, that would increase this 2.4% even further. So I hope all of this makes sense. This is the kind of question you could get for practical calculations from this chapter. So I would suggest do practice these kind of questions. So that's it for the first topic, which is the active management style. So analyzing whether the manager is doing good, which part of his action is doing good. Is it asset allocation? Is it security selection? Is it both, or is it none? All of those are covered in this part. Let's move on to the fundamental law.